We're back here on Southeastern 16. Chase Robinson here, Jay Greeson alongside us. We're going to preview the Florida Gators heading into the 2025 SEC football season. And Jay, it's an interesting team here. Look, last year going into the season, we were all sitting here thinking, okay, Florida's got the toughest schedule in the country. There's a lot of unknowns. Billy Napier's on the hot seat. I feel like that was a team that bought in more than I expected them to. They played for Billy Napier. They got some great wins down the stretch, and it was a totally different conversation in December than it was in August of last season.
Without question. And it's, I imagine this was a multitude of 50 exponentially more enjoyable offseason for Billy Napier than the last two. And in truth, if Billy Napier has another child, he's going to need to name him DJ Lagway Napier because his quarterback is not only a potential Heisman level talent, he has also galvanized his locker room and the fan base as much as any player has, maybe in any program since maybe Tebow. And yes, everybody jumped up and down when Paul Feinbaum compared Arch Manning to Tim Tebow. I'm not doing that. What I am saying is the leadership and the togetherness of this Florida program, engineered by DJ Lagway, is very reminiscent of what was going on with those championship Gators teams in the late 2000s.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. And last year, DJ Lagway was kind of that spark. You know, we thought, okay, Graham Mertz, the starting quarterback. We see how the season started, the injury. They were competitive in some games, and then it's like DJ Lagway comes in, and he's just that spark that they needed. And yeah, the buy-in was great, but the team, he kind of carried them rest away. In the spring, though, he couldn't throw. He's able to get back out there now. I'm expecting big things from him this season. And I feel like the offense is going to kind of go as he goes. Would that be a statement worthy to say of Florida?
Without question. And I think he's got a super high ceiling. And yes, what you said in the opening, Florida did have the toughest schedule in America last year, especially when we thought FSU was going to be FSU. And it's more manageable this year, but it's still a tough sled. But you mentioned it, while the shoulder concerns from spring certainly force you to take everything with a grain of salt. DJ Lagway went 6-1 as a starter. He had the second best passer rating in the SEC over those last 7 games. And this year, not only is he a year wiser, he's got better skill dudes around him this year than he had last year. And that's just if Eugene Wilson can stay healthy, because he couldn't last year.
Yep, you're right. And looking at the receiving core for Florida, you mentioned Eugene Wilson, a huge part there at receiver. There's Michael Sturdivant, who is transferred in. You got Aiden Mizell, Dallas Wilson, who has come in as a true freshman and expected to play. So the receiver room's there. Like there's guys, there's weapons around DJ Lagway who's going to help in that pass game.
And yes, it's the spring game. But without DJ Lagway, Dallas Wilson set a Florida spring game record in catches earlier this year. And again, the caveat of it's a spring game matters. But when you're talking about passing and pass catching records at a place like Florida over the last 30 plus years, with the guys they've had on the perimeter and the styles in which they exploited those guys on the perimeter, anytime you can put your name in any Florida receiving record book, then you're obviously got talent. And you didn't mention a kid who I think could have a monster year, and that's the tight end Hayden Hanson, all 6'8", 270 up.
Wow, yeah. He most definitely can. So as far as pass catchers go, looks good. And then looking at running back, I mean, you got Jaden Ball, Jacoby Jackson. That's two guys who you want the football in their hands. They're going to go to work.
Absolutely. I mean, the skill position things are certainly in place for guys making plays in and around DJ Lagway. And I don't think we've mentioned the strongest room on their offense yet.
No, we have not. And that's, excuse me, going to be a big part of his. When you have as many guys, here's what I like, especially up front for offense, for the offensive line. So many guys are coming back. Like, they didn't have to go out to the transfer portal or rely on freshmen coming in to fill these holes. It's guys who were part of this team last year who are now either still there or they're stepping up into a position that they worked all season at last year.
And it's led by a guy who may be the best at his position across the SEC, and that's Florida center Jake Slaughter. I mean, what a stud name Slaughter is for an offensive lineman. But that guy's nasty, and that guy will put you on your back. And he's not just one of those kids who's calling protections and just trying to get in somebody's way. He's looking to knock you on your keister. And you're talking about guys with dozens of starts under their belt. And, I mean, when you've got an offensive line that collectively can put up 80, 100 career starts, like Florida's pretty close to, then you've got guys you trust up front to protect the franchise that is DJ Lagway.
Yeah, that's for sure. So that's a look at the offense. Let's flip over now and talk about the defense, because look, there's questions on defense to me. Two really things I've focused on in the offseason for Florida was DJ Lagway, what he's going to bring, but also can this secondary improve from last year? And I think they need to take a step up. Defensively, what are you looking for out of Florida, Jay?
Pardon me. Well, I think they've got some future Sunday players across the defensive front, and we'll go front to back. But Caleb Banks is a guy who pressures the pocket as a D tackle, which is something you always look for. LJ McCray he was one of the top defensive line prospects in the country coming out of high school a couple of years ago. Now he's got to get better in year 2 for Florida. And then you've got Jamari Lyons, who missed a whole lot of time last year with a broken leg. So I think you feel good about the big boys up front defensively, but it's that back 7 and 8 that not only has some question marks in terms of experience, but also are the newcomers going to work out?
Yeah, that's a great point there. And again, there's still on the defensive side a lot of guys who have been a part of this program who are now, again, still there or stepping up. The secondary, like I mentioned, some questions going into the year. Will we see improvement? A couple of guys transferring in, but still you got Miles Graham, Grayson Howard, Devin Moore, those guys at the linebacker position that you just want to see more this year as far as those guys.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing that you got a 3-year contributor like Jordan Castell coming back as your leading tackler at safety. But the bad part of that is whenever your safety is your leading tackler, he's probably making stops 5, 6, 7, 8 yards downfield already. The name that you mentioned, and I think the linebackers have a chance to be really athletic and good. You mentioned a couple of them in Graham and Howard, but prioritizing the health of Devin Moore, who athletically is truly gifted. He's back for his senior year, but he's missed half his games because he just can't stay on the field. And if you've got a field corner who can really run like Devin Moore, the opportunity, if he can stay healthy, and it's a big if because he hasn't, I think Florida's defense will be improved. And I mean, when you're talking about complementary football, I'm not saying Florida's defense is going to have to be lights out, because I think their offense is going to find ways to put a lot of points on a lot of people in that schedule.
Yeah, and you look at the schedule and okay, what are they up against? And you see teams like LSU. Okay, the defense is going against Garrett Nussmeier and a really good offense. You see Miami going against Carson Beck, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss. Like, there's some really good offenses that this defense is going to, and some really good quarterbacks that this defense is going to have to figure out this year.
Well,
and that's part of it being in the SEC, obviously.
Absolutely. And I mean, we talked about it. The schedule is not as arduous as a year ago, but it ain't a cupcake either. I mean, you've got LSU, Texas, and Georgia, and only one of those games is in the Swamp. One's in Red Stick, and the other's the Cocktail Party. I mean, I don't know, with all the things swirling around Knoxville since Nico's departure and now recently with Boo Carter, who knows what that Tennessee-Florida game in November will be. We don't know what FSU will be. We expect Ole Miss. Trip to College Station is always difficult. I mean, dude, I think this is a 9+ win team, talent-wise. It's just, can you navigate it? And they get a little bit of a scheduling break with a bye before Texas, and both Georgia and Florida have a bye before the Cocktail Party. So if they can get through Georgia having only lost twice, they will be solidly in the playoff conversation with Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and the unknown that is FSU the last 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to take this next, because, again, I go back to last season with all the talk of is Billy Napier going to make it, this, that, and the other, on how tough the schedule was and all that. We saw what they could do. Should we expect now Florida this season to be in that conversation late in the season, to when we're watching on Tuesday nights, on to the college football playoff ranking? Should we expect them at that point to be high? I think obviously the ceiling is playoffs. What are realistic expectations to you, Jay, on this Florida team?
Well, I think it's a New Year's Day bowl team. I don't know with the schedule. I mean, contending for the playoffs, I think, is within realm. I really do. I mean, I don't know how good, say, Miami's going to be. I don't know how good – we don't know how good FSU is going to be. The SEC is always a challenging gauntlet, but and it's Florida we're talking about. So it's the expectations really never change, even through a whole lot of the questionable hires and the malaise that the program has suffered. Now, to that end, to be fair, one of the betting services I've seen still has Billy Napier with the 7 shortest odds to be the first college football coach fired this fall.
Wow.
At 12-1. Now, the shortest in the SEC is Brent Venables at 6-1, followed by Sam Pittman and Hugh Freeze. But then there's Billy Napier at 12-1. So the expectations are always lofty. I mean, and it's the SEC, man. On Saturdays in the fall, those warm and fuzzies and what you did for me last year don't really matter much anymore.
Yeah,
it's got to be today. And what did you do last week?
Yeah, that's very true. Expecting a great season, though, from the Florida Gators. We'll be here to talk about them each and every week, as, again, they will get the season started on Saturday, August 30th, as they will play host to Long Island University there in the Swamp to get.
I'm gonna take the Gators in that one, Chase.
Yeah, I think I will too. I think I will too. I couldn't even tell you the mascot of Long Island University, I don't think, but
they're the Gilligans. Long Island Gilligans.
All right. So Florida will get it started there on August 30th. And of course, we'll be here to preview them, get ready for the season. We got to tell you about our friends, though, over at GameTime Sidekicks. GameTimeSidekicks.com is where you can go and get you a nice cup like Jay holds up right there. Florida fans, they got some nice Florida cups there. All the SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities. Top of the market quality as far as construction and ice retention. They got the double wall vacuum insulated stainless steel. All logo printing and product decoration done in Knoxville, Tennessee. So right in SEC country. Tons of designs and logos, including the college vault line. And it's more than just regular cups. They got stainless steel sippy cups. They got tumblers, 40-ounce plus bottles, shaker cups. It's all right there. GameTimeSidekicks.com. And you get a promo code and a 20% discount with code SE16. So promo code SE16, and you get that 20% discount there to you, our great viewers. Also, got to tell you about ROKFORM. They are the world's strongest magnetic phone case. And it's right there at ROKFORM.com. They got some really cool accessories. As I get on their website, look around, they got some cool golf accessories, speakers, the magnetic phone cases, the clips to go on your dashboard or motorcycle. So really cool accessories there. ROKFORM.com, world's strongest magnetic phone case.
They sent us a couple at the Greeson household, and I'm going to have to order more because my kids are already fighting over it. So it has turned into a tug of war, and I think my son has hidden one of them just to make certain his sister doesn't get a hold of it.
Nice. Classic. It's great products, though. The Greesons will tell you they're great products. So we appreciate those who partner with us. Make sure you support those who support us at GameTimeSidekicks.com and ROKFORM.com. That is ROKFORM.com. For Jay Greeson, I'm Chase Robinson. We appreciate you for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Like this video. Spread the word about us here at Southeastern 16. Tell your friends. And Florida fans, drop a comment. What you think about the Gators coming up in 2025. And we will be back with more SEC football content for you soon here on Southeastern 16.